right, we are live. Sweet. Well, hello. Thank you all for joining us. And this is the review with
For your games.
Sweet. Very happy to have you with me, Froyo. I appreciate it. We are going to play a classic here, which is Overpower. It's a goodie. It came out in '95. So it was one of those very early runs of card games when the boom hit with CCGs back in the day. Um, and it's comic book themed, as you can see with for you there with the case there. And so I'll run through a very brief history really quick, then we'll jump into the game. They came out in '95, and the initial set was Marvel, as you can see there, one of the starter decks. And it very quickly moved into other properties. Eventually, they got DC, which you can see Foyo is doing a DC starter. And so mine, however, is a customized one, but I did trim out all the bloated extra stuff that came later. So it's pretty much a starter deck, what I'm playing with, basically, as well. But it did DC eventually, and then there was one image set. So there is image in Overpower as well. So it covers those three major properties. But most of it's Marvel, because there were like 2 DC sets, 1 image set, and the rest of the sets were Marvel. So it's a lot of mainly Marvel, but they do have the other properties. And it ran for a good probably 8 years, I'd say 10 before, it's still going with fans today, but in turn, the prime of its life was about 8-10 years, I'd guess, if I had to calculate it. So it went for a while. I may be overstating, maybe probably more like 8 years. And then, with the CCG boom dying away and people falling out of playing CCGs as much, it sort of fell away. But it had its avid fans that continue to this day, and I am one of them. So I'm happy to introduce for you to the game. Yeah, it'll be awesome. All right, so what we got here is the basis of the game that you have here. You are trying to knock out all of your opponent's other heroes, which I know you see some Doomsday and Joker there. Later, when they added villains in with the heroes, they switching to called characters so that they were not being, hero or villain specific anymore, because they started throwing villains in. So they're heroes or characters are the 2 different names for the same cards. But you're going to have 4 of them. You're going to pick 3 out of your team of 4 to put in the front line and 1 in reserve. The reserve will come up when you lose a front line. And then so that's the first way to win, is knock out all of your opponent's heroes, characters. The other way to win is, as you see, there's a mission set here. 7 missions that make up, there's 7 different cards that make up your mission. So 7 cards that make up the mission. Your other way to win is getting all 7 of your mission cards to the completed mission pile. That is the other way to win. Actually, technically, a third way to win is get your opponent to lose all of his missions versus winning all of yours. So there's 3 ways to win, technically. So that's how you win. You're going to have quick rounds. But so far, are we good so far? I don't want to jump ahead if I need to slow down if you have other questions for me.
I actually pulled it up in overpowercardgame.com. Looks like the Kickstarter will be live on October 15th through November the 13th. So,
Got
it.
Yeah. So for those who weren't aware, and I wasn't there until Foyo told me, apparently there's kickstarting another Overpower. So hopefully they don't change the formula too much, but we'll see. I'm excited, so I'll have to take a look at it.
Yeah. I don't know what the IP is, but I don't know. I guess we'll see soon.
Yeah. All right. So basically, every hand, both players are going to draw 8 cards every round, which is what we've done. We've drawn our starting hands here, 8 cards. The first thing you do is both players simultaneously are going to discard duplicates or unusables from their 8 cards that they drew. A duplicate for anything but a power card has to be an exact copy of the card. But for a power card, a duplicate is anything of the same value. So, for example, if I had, let's do this. So let's pretend that one of these 4s I have is a straight 4, non-multi-power. So pretend this was just an energy level 4 energy card, and I had this multi-power 4. They're different types, technically, but they are the same value. So one of them would have to be discarded for duplicate power cards. So you can only have one of any value of a power card in your hand during combat. So at the beginning, when you draw up, you have to discard duplicates. So for me, mine was an exact copy. In this case, I had 2 multi-power 4s. So I did have to discard down so that I only have 1 4 in my hand. So that's a duplicate for power card. But again, like I said, for the others, they have to be exact duplicates.
And this is like on the opening hand.
That's for every round. Every round you have to discard duplicates and unusables. Both players, all players. So you can never have duplicates or unusables in any round. So you draw up and you discard are the first things you do in the round.
Okay.
So basically you look at your hand. Again, if it's a power card, which again are going to be very distinct because it's mostly picture with a value and a type on upper left and lower right.
Okay.
So power
cards can have duplicates, but universe cards you can have duplicates.
No, you can't have duplicates either on universe, but they don't. But they do for universe cards and power and special cards. They have to be exact duplicates, not just value duplicates.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So, for example, I can't have 2 of this Professor X special card. I can only have 1 in my hand. But if I had 2 different Professor X special cards, I could have both of them if they're different special cards for this. So, yeah, they have to be exact duplicates for universe and special cards to be discarding.
Gotcha. And that puts you like net 1 card. Net -1 card.
Yeah. And that's during gameplay, especially when you get to like constructed formats for people to go to events and stuff. They'll usually ask at the beginning, after people discard, how many did you discard? How many do you have left in your hand? And there's nothing wrong asking that. That's the usual.
Okay. What if somebody's caught like cheating?
Yeah. All right. So I had to discard 1 card. Did you have to discard any?
No.
Okay. So the next step after we draw and discard is going to be when we place cards. So there's several reasons you might want to do this. I will tell you the first reason why you might want to place a card is because anything that's not used from your hand at the end of the round is discarded. So if you don't know if you're going to use a card, you might want to place it so that you have it available for the next round if you don't end up using it. So a card can be placed by doing this. You take the card, put it sideways under the character like that. That's placing a card. So what we do is we're going to determine who has the start of the game, and they're going to start, and we're going to switch off placing cards until both players pass. So before we start placing, we need to determine who goes first. So usually what I do and what a lot of players do is they'll just cut the deck and then look at the highest value on their card. Mine is a 4.
All right. I got a +2.
So the value would be 2. Would be the
All
highest value. Okay, so that means I would be going first. So I will place the first card. So I am going to place a spawn card. Now, technically, you can place any cards you want on any heroes. However, if you put a card that's unusable on a hero, they're never going to be able to use the card. So you want to make sure they can use it. Special cards can only be played by the character whose special it is. So Professor X Spawn, my Professor X Spawn special cards can only be used by that particular individual. I can't have the Ray use it or Doctor Strange use it. They've got to be the ones using the card. Okay. So I'm going to place my spawn card on spawn for my first place. Then I place, so it goes to you. You're able to place now. Now, if you pass, you can do that. But if you pass and goes back to me, then I could possibly pass. And if we both pass on placing, placing ends immediately. So you got to sort of wait if you want to pass, or just go ahead and keep placing and switching off.
Okay. So what's that spawn card that you played?
So the spawn card I placed is a defensive card that allows spawn or teammate to avoid one attack of 9 or less. So it's a defensive avoiding attack card.
Okay, 9 or less.
And I don't know if I'll use it this round. That's why I put it down. I was like, oh, if I'll use it.
Okay. All right, I'll go Doomsday. Avoid 1 strength or energy attack.
Cool. So you're going to place it on them?
Yep.
All right. Cool. That's going to go back to me. And I am actually going to pass. No, actually, no, I'm not going to pass. Never mind. I will place one more card. I'm going to place Professor X's card. It says Psionic Hold. It says target opponent. Now that there's an errata on that. It's supposed to say target character, not target opponent. So it says target character may not attack for remainder of battle. So if I play it on one of your characters, they can't attack for the rest of the battle. The battle does, in other words, it means for the rest of the round. So when the round's over, we go to a new round and they'll be able to attack again. It shuts them down for the round, basically, for attacking. That's what that does. So that's what I placed. So
I say that this 8-card hand will be discarded at the end of the round.
Anything you don't use during the round is discarded at the end of the round. Yes. So I plan to use the rest of the cards in my hand. I do plan to use them, but I don't know if I'll use these, and that's why I put them there so that I'll keep them next round if I don't use them.
Okay. And how would you use specials from hand?
Yeah. So special. So basically, the way it works when it gets to the card play, you basically can either play a card that does a game effect, or you can attack, one of the two. So if you want to play a special, you just, when it's your turn to play, you say, I'm playing the special from this person, show it to your opponent, resolve the effects, and then discard it. If it's a one-time effect, some specials will have continuous effects for the rest of the round. So if you do those, you would put them into play and keep them there until the round ends. So it depends on what the special does. But to play it, you just announce it and then show your opponent and resolve the effects. We're going to be switching off when the round starts. When we get to the actual combat of the round, we'll be switching off, attacking and/or playing specials or playing effects. And we'll be switching off. So I'll attack or play effect. Then it'll go to you. You'll be able to attack or play an effect, and go to me, and we'll switch off till none of us can or choose not to do anymore for the round.
Okay. All right. And right now you can't play universe cards, only special cards.
Well, we're not playing anything. We're just placing them for when we actually start the actual round of combat. So we're just placing cards. We're not actually playing them out yet. We're just placing them.
Okay. And we cannot place universe cards now, right?
No, you can. So you can place any card in your hand that on a character during this phase that we're placing. So the only limit is that every hero or character has a limit of 1 power, 1 special, and 1 universe that can be placed on them.
Okay. Cool. All right. I guess I'll pass for now.
All right. And I will pass again because, I passed. So since we both passed, that ends the placing. So now we actually get into the next step, which is venturing. So venturing is basically the bet portion of the game, which a lot of people enjoy. I really enjoy it. So it is kind of a betting system built into the game. So you're going to take the number of missions from your mission pile that you think that you want to basically bet on if you think you'll win the round or not. The way you win the round is by doing the most damage at the end of the round. So if you've done the most damage at the end of the round, you win the round, and you would win the missions that you bet or venture. Usually, if you're uncertain, and you have to do at least one. You can never not venture anything. You have to at least venture one. So if you're not sure, then usually people venture 1. If they have a 50-50 chance, they're not sure either way, usually they'll venture 2. If you're feeling really confident, that's when people usually start looking at venturing more than 2. Now, there is a penalty there's a kind of a penalty if you venture more than 2. For every one that you venture above 2, so if you venture 4, for example, for every one that you venture above 2, your opponent gets to draw another card for this round. So you could win a lot, but you're risking giving your opponent more resources for that round by venturing more than 2. So that's, and hopefully that makes sense. And so we'll venture what we think. And then once we both ventured, then we actually start the meat of the round, which is the actual combat where we start throwing stuff at each other. So you start with whoever has the initiative, which is me in this because we cut. So I have to, and I have to venture first because I started with the seeding, with the placing. I'm starting with combat, so I have to venture first. So looking at what you have, what I have, I'm not too terribly confident, so I'm just going to venture the 2. I think I've got a 50-50 chance, so I'm going to venture 2 missions. So whatever you venture, you'll put you put on top. Sorry, you put to the side like this. So whatever you venture for your missions, you're going to put to the side into the ventured mission pile. I ventured 2, so then it goes to you, and you would now venture. Now you may venture differently based on what I ventured, because that is an indication of how confident I am. Some people do react to that, others don't. It just depends on how you feel you're going to do for the round, how you want to venture.
I'll venture 2.
You venture 2? Okay. Cool. All right, now that we've both ventured, we're now going to start the round. And so I would be the first one to start. All righty, so on your turn, when it's your action for the round, when you start switching off, you can, like I said, attack or you play a card that has some game effect that would affect the round or a character, etc. So a non-attack card is an example. So attack or play a non-attack card. And you can always, and when you do it, your opponent is going to be, if you attack your opponent can react as defending, but it does not count for their action, basically. They're still going to be able to react, or they're still going to be able to act when you finish your attack or when you finish playing your card or whatever. So defensive never takes up a turn. Defending is something you do in reaction to your opponent attacking you. So looking at my board, I think what I want to start out is to start with something that gives me more attacks in one shot before I give you the action for the round. So teamworks are very nice for that. It allows you to, it's a universe card. So I'm going to play this teamwork card. And basically it allows you to play multiple attacks before you hand the initiative, before you hand the turn over to your opponent. So it's a way to get multiple attacks in, not just one attack. So I will play a teamwork card. Now, if you look at the teamwork cards, let me break this down so that we know what we're doing. So if you look at a teamwork card, it's going to have a minimum requirement, upper left-hand corner. So to be able to play the teamwork card, I need someone with an 8 energy. If you notice my team, they're all 8 energies. So mine is an 8 energy team. So anyone on my team can play this.
Okay.
Now it's going to, this card itself, the one that's doing the initiating this teamwork attack, the teamwork card itself is going to be a 6 energy attack. So the actual attack the teamwork card is to the right of the requirement. So this card itself will be a 6 energy attack. What it's going to allow me to do is make up to 2 follow-up attacks with teammates, and they have to be one from each different teammates. So one from one from another. But they can make either an intellect or fighting attack as a follow-up, and they'll get a bonus to that attack. So do you have a teamwork in your hand, just so we're trying to run through and explain things? Yes, you do. There we go. Yep. Actually, I think that's teamwork. Was that teamwork, or did I see that wrong? I don't know. We'll
So yours says teamwork on the left?
Yeah.
Okay, mine just says training.
Oh, training or basic? Okay. So it's not a teamwork then. All right. I thought you did for a sec. I apologize. Okay. So Professor X is going to attack Doomsday. So when you attack, you show the card. You say who's attacking. So Professor X is attacking, and put it in front of the person you're attacking. So I'm going to have this going into Doomsday. So I'm attacking with a 6 energy attack. Now, when the opponent attacks you, like I said, you have a chance to defend. So to defend, you can play either a special that's defensive, or you can block it with playing a power card or a power card with a universe card that equals or exceeds the attack value.
And the attack value is 6, right?
Yes, correct. Now, let me put out the training cards you have, because the way those work, if you want to bring it up on the screen so you know how to make those work. Yeah, it looks like you have two, actually. You have a basic and a universe, actually, it looks like. So the training is going to give you requirements. There's the penguin one is your basic universe card. Go to the card in your hand that has a penguin on the picture. Where's that? That's your basic universe card there with penguin. So you've got two different universe cards. You've got a basic and a training. So the basic is kind of like how I showed you with the universe. It has the requirement in the upper left-hand corner. And what it does is it's going to give you a bonus of that value to that card when you play it, whether you're attacking or defending. So if you play a 5 energy, for example, with that universe card, it would be a 6 value on the attack or defense. Does that make sense?
The basic just adds 1, or?
Well, whatever the value is. So if you see it, that's a 1 there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But to be able to play that, you have to have you have to have at least a 6 energy to play that card. So does Doomsday have a 6 energy?
He's got a 4.
So he cannot play that card then. So he can't play the basic. So let's go to the training cards. So the training cards are for those trying to boost playing cards in your lower stats. Is the purpose of training cards. So if you see the trainings, it has 2 different options. You need it for that example. The Batman one says you need to have a 5 or less in strength or energy to play that with a power card. And whatever you choose will give it a bonus to that when you play it with the power card. So that you could do an energy card with Doomsday, because Doomsday has a 5 or less on energy.
Okay. What if I just do my special card, though?
So what is your special card?
Avoid 1 strength or energy attack.
Yep, you could do that. Yep, because it does count as an energy attack for the initial. Yep. So you just play that, gets rid of it.
Okay.
So I would discard. For teamworks, I set them to the side as reminders before I discard. And that's because I can do the follow-up attacks with teamwork cards. So, for example, normally a standard attack is just 1 card doing something. Like, pretend that was a special or something, or just a power card. That would be my attack. It would have responded and it would go to you normally. However, like I said, teamwork cards allow you to make multiple attacks in one instance. So when you respond to the initial teamwork card, I get up to 2 follow-up cards. So I'm going to follow up with this level 1 as an intellect attack from Spawn. From the Ray, who has a 2 intellect. So you can play that 1 as an intellect. And multi-powers, let me explain this really quick. Multi-powers, think of them as wild cards. Multi-powers can be any of the power types that it shows on there for the value that it states. So this can be a level 1 of all 4 power types. So I'm using it as a 1 intellect. So the 1 intellect is going to come from the Ray. That's the teammate for the first follow-up from the teamwork card. And I'm going to use as intellect, so he's going to get a +2. So I put it back into view, sorry. So he gets a +2 to the intellect attack. So it's a 3 intellect attack as a follow-up from the Ray.
Okay. On Doomsday.
Yes. And this is, from the Ray to Doomsday, yep.
Okay. And what's everybody's health? I guess they only have like 1 health, or how did they go?
No. So let me explain that before we resolve that. Sorry. So there are 2 ways to KO a character. They all have the same cumulative health, and so they all have 20 health. There's a few rare exceptions where they have a printed health that's different, but normally it's 20 health unless it says otherwise. So they all have 20 health is what we have. So he could take up to 19 more cumulative-wise if this hits. So it's not a big cumulative-wise. However, there's another way to KO. There's the cumulative one, which I just described. So if you have a total of 20 or more numerically on someone's record, they are KO'd and it removes the character. So that's the cumulative way. Most people don't go that route because it's more difficult. It's not as easy as the second way. The second way is Spectrum KO. Spectrum is, as long as you have 3 of the 4 power types, regardless of the values, it will KO them. Multi-powers are extremely good for spectruming because they can be any of the types. So this puts you 1 of 3 away from spectruming if this hits.
Did you say whenever it's a teamwork attack that lands, then
No, you can still block. It's just that I get to do more attacks before it goes to your turn to swing at me, is what I mean by that with teamwork cards.
Okay. Now the spectrum damage, explain that again.
The spectrum is as long as they take hits of 3 of the 4 types, they're KO'd, no matter what the value is.
Okay, gotcha.
And a multi-power can change value after it's on the record to whatever you want, whenever you want. That's the danger of them. So if multi-power hits, then I can have at any time any of the 4 types as one of the 3 for spectruming on you.
Okay. Right. And I'm gonna need so I'm at 1 intellect and you're at 3. So now I need to.
So you need
3.
Yeah, you need at least a 3 or higher. You don't have to use universe cards. You can block with just a straight power card if you have the value and the type that can play it. So if you have a 3 fighting or above, or a 3 strength or above that you can play to block it, you could use that and just block with 1 card. It's just what's important is the value is equal or greater no matter what you're doing.
Okay. And then power cards themselves wouldn't be able to do anything right now.
No, power cards can. Because power cards are the basic unit of attack and defense in this game, regardless of other things you add to it. So you can attack or defend with a basic power card without adding anything to it. But you have to make sure the value is greater or equal to the value coming at you, is the catch. So you need at least a 3. If you're going to play just a basic power card to defend, it needs to be at least a 3 or higher. And you have to make sure you can play that. So make sure the type and value is within the grid of the character you're playing. So, for example, Doomsday could play up to a 4 energy power card. He could play up to an 8 strength power card. So those are the values of how high he can play those power cards and those types.
Okay. All right. I guess I will take
All right.
3 guns.
And then there is a rule that does help out because of how good spectruming and multi-powers are. There is a rule. If I have multiple multi-power cards on the same record, they can't be different types. So if I had another multi-power one on you, I couldn't say this multi-power is intellect and this one is strength. They'd all have to be the exact same type. So that is a tournament ruling that they put in the game. So I can't put 3 multi-power cards on you and spectrum you. It's not allowed. So if I have more multi-power power cards, I'm not going to continue going after Doomsday with them because of it's called the fusion rule. So I can't. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So the last of the attack, because this allows up to 2 follow-up attacks. So the last of the follow-up. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. I think I have an instant. So Doomsday, play when Doomsday is wounded.
Yeah.
Means, +2 to all attacks for the remainder of the battle. The battle is the rest of the turn, right?
Is the rest of the exchange we do until we both pass? Yes.
Okay. All right. So I guess I'll put this, place it on them, or how do I do
just place it on Doomsday. So it's well, not place. That's like putting something. I meant put it on top of them like that.
Okay.
So don't place it. Just put it on Doomsday, show it's in play, kind of thing. Does it make sense?
Okay. So equip it,
Yeah, that kind of a thing. Yeah. Well, no, you're going to put hits under. So hits are going to go under the person actually. So literally, because you're not going to keep it forever, that's going to go away when we're done with the round. So literally, even just put it in front of them, I guess, is the best way to do it because that'll remind you to get rid of it once we're done with the round. Yeah. So that's true. That was a reaction to being damaged. So you would play that. Perfect timing. So now we would resolve the rest of the last of my follow-up with the teamwork. But perfect. All right. So the last follow-up is going to be from Spawn. It's going to be a 3 fighting. And I'm going to throw this at, who's your next biggest value there? Oh, Brainiac. So I'm going to throw this as a 3 fighting plus 3, so it's a 6, and that's because it's a plus 3 fighting. So 3 and 3 is 6, so it's a 6 attack at Brainiac from Spawn. So it's a 6.
Right, I'll play my laser. Yeah, play my laser.
Well, so universe cards can't be played by themselves; they have to be played in combination with another power card. They're meant to be played with power. Like my teamwork card, I was playing with power cards in total for the process. So again, universe cards are played with power cards and never played by themselves.
All right, so if I go here, then that'll be.
And also, you have to look at the requirements to be able to play it. So, what is Brainiac's energy stat?
A 8.
Oh, so yeah, he can do it. Yep, perfect. Yep. So that blocks it. No, actually, it's a 6 total. It needs to be a. What value is Nightwing? 2.
2. Yep.
Yeah. So it's actually a 3, but a plus 3 from the teamwork card. It gave it a plus 3. So it's actually a 6 value coming at you. It's a 6 fighting value from the teamwork. So you actually need higher than that. You need at least a 6 or higher to block.
Okay. So I go. All right. So instead of Nightwing, I'll just do. Don't know who this guy is, but this guy.
Yep, that works because that's Metallo in the comics. Yeah. So since it was blocked, I discard the power card, and that completes the entire teamwork. You also discard the power card and universe card.
Okay.
All right, and I'll set this aside. So far for this round, I've got 1 towards me for the record for the round. But that was it for my round because the teamwork card, you resolve the attacks, and that's done for my action. So it goes to you now. So you are able to do your action for the turn now.
Okay.
And Doomsday does have a +2 attack versus the one that attacked him, or is it just in general +2 attack?
Play when Doomsday is wounded. Doomsday gains +2 to all attacks for the remainder of battle.
Oh, so against anybody. Okay, so +2 to all attacks. Okay. Wow, that's scary. If you have a big card in your hand, that could hurt.
And Professor X has a block on him, right?
No, but I have Spawn who can block himself or a teammate if the attack is 9 or less.
Okay.
What Professor X has on him is the Santa Cold, which basically, if I play it, says a target character can't attack for the remainder of battle.
Okay, so now it's on me to swing, right?
Yep, that is correct. It's on you to swing. Yep. Unless you want to pass because you don't have anything good in your hand and you don't think it'll turn out any differently, you do have that option to do. But if you concede before the battle goes over, then that means you automatically lose, but it does immediately end the round. If you want to, if you think you don't have anything good, you want to save your heroes from taking more damage, you always, on your turn say I concede, and then you would stop the battle and we'd go to the next one. We would draw a new set of hands, but you would lose the ventured missions. So that's just an option you can do if you want to.
Can you say a Spawn stops 9 or less attack?
Yeah, 9 or less value. So as long as the total value is 9 or less, it can be used to defend, yes.
And on the offensive, you can use a training and a power card at the same time.
Yeah. So power cards and training and universe card. Well, not teamwork. Teamwork's only attack, which is what I did. So power cards with basic or training universe cards can be used for attack or defend.
Okay. All right. I will go. Man, let me see again. 4, 5, 6. And when you add the training card and the power card, how does that go again?
You take the value of the power card and add the bonus the training gives you, the universe gives you.
Okay, so you add them. Okay. All right, so if I got this right, okay, so I'm gonna do a swing with Doomsday for a 4 energy +2 to all attacks. That's 6.
Yep.
And then I'll throw a 2 power card. That's 8. And then add some training to that. 8. I have a 4. Oh, is it the base energy or
No, it's the value of the power card itself. The stats on the character simply tells you up to what level of that type of card can you play. You don't add the stats themselves when you play the cards. You add the value of the card itself, which would be the 2, and then the bonus from the training, which is +4, or is it +3?
+3.
So it's a 2 +3 +2 from a special effect that you played. So that would be a total of 2, 4, 7. That's a 7 total that'd be coming at me.
7. Okay. All right, so it's not 3 +2 for 5 +2 is 7, and then you don't do their base.
No,
like card.
All the base does is all the stats tell you again is this tells you what power cards can they use. That's all that's for. So again, the 8 says I can use up to an 8 energy power card. I can use up to a 2 fighting power card.
Okay. All right. Well, let me go back to the drawing board with that.
I'll say sometimes in the game you do throw things out just to try and push someone to use a defensive card to get it out of the way. But again, it's entirely up to you what you want to do. So.
Okay. Let's use. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which isn't enough.
If you're trying to get over the defensive card, yeah, it's not. But sometimes you get to a point you just throw out attacks just to see if they'll stick. So again, you don't have to sort of. It's not important to make sure that every attack lands every single time. Sometimes you just throw out what you can. But,
okay. Wow. Okay. Okay, power's always coming from the power card, not from the units themselves.
Yeah, not from the stats on the character. Yep, correct.
Yeah, so the most I can really ever do with only a 2 right now would be 2, 4, and then plus whatever the training card is.
Yep.
Okay. Yep, looks like I guess it's better to not even play it though, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least it would either prompt me to use it or prompt me to block using a card in my hand, so expending resources from my hand, or prompt me to just take it, which would be a hit of one of the 4 different types spectrum-wise. So,
yeah, so I'll just throw that 7.
Alrighty. And the higher it is, the harder it is to block, so that's always a good thing too. So, okay. Luckily, I do have Professor X has a 7 intellect, and I do have a 7 intellect in my hand, so I'll block with a 7 intellect. But that does knock me down 1 card left in my hand.
So. Now, and I threw a 7 energy, right?
Yeah, so when you're blocking, you don't have to match the type, you just have to match value when you're blocking.
Okay. Right?
Yep.
Throw these away.
Yeah, and since I blocked it, you just discard the cards you attacked with. And then it would go back to your opponent, which is me. So it would be up to me to, again, pass, play a card, attack, or one of those things. So I will attack, and I'm going to attack with, from the Ray, a level 4 fighting. And this is going to be a multi-power, but I'm using it as fighting, a 4. That's coming from the Ray, and that is going to go at your Brainiac. Brainiac. There we go.
And he's doing a multi-attack.
It's just 1 attack, but it's a multi-power, meaning I can choose what type it is. I'm using it as a fighting, and so it's a 4 fighting attack.
4 fighting. All right. All right. Ono Minuto, she's calling. Let me see what she wants.
Oh, not a problem.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah, walking around. All right.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, she's kind of she called, but she will probably be calling again within the next 5 minutes. We'll see how it goes. I got the camera on, so she'll walk into stuff and might fall. But anyway, we're
no problem. We're good. I'm a go with the flow kind of guy, so it's cool.
All right. Yes, you threw a 4 strength.
4 fighting.
4 fighting.
Yep.
Okay, so basically, just all in all, unless I have a power card or a special card, I can't do anything about it.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. All right, so I will pass. I'll take.
All right, so that lands a hit. Now it goes to you.
Okay. So how do I indicate that?
Oh, sorry. So the hits would be placed in front. So if this was a hit on me from the Ray, I would just put it in front of the Ray like that. That's the hits to current battle.
Okay. So we'll just have to remember it, or
yeah, I'm just basically taking the hits that I've put on the different characters. I remember where they are on your screen, and I just have a pal for Death, for Doomsday, a pal for Brainiac, etc. And I'm keeping tally, so I'll let you know what those are if you have questions. They're right here to the left as well.
okay.
Yep.
All right. And all right. So now it's on me. So
Yep.
These all pass.
All right. So you passed. It goes to me. I will pass as well. Since both pass, that ends the round. So we then count the venture total, and you do that by counting the hits. So again, that's how you win, doing the most hits. So there's none on my guys. I did do 4 and 1, so 5. So 0 to 5. So I would end up winning that round. So I would take the 2 cards that I ventured, then move them to the top here, which is the completed mission pile. And the 2 that you ventured would move to the bottom, which is your defeated missions pile.
Okay. Okay. All right.
To the bottom. No, to different piles.
Oh.
Yeah. So you have the reserve 1 pile. This is the completed, and this is below will be your defeated missions pile.
Okay.
Yep. And then you discard any unused cards from your hand, and then draw up your new hand size. Okay. There we go. All right. And then you have to discard, of course, unusables and duplicates. So I have a duplicate 8, so I have to discard that.
But what happens if somebody gets caught cheating, though?
Oh, it's a good question. If it's an actual event or whatever, then they'd probably be booted. If it's friendly play, you just let the person know you made a mistake and they'll correct it. So, but if it's like an event, then yeah, you'd probably get bit. Well, it might give you a warning and then boot you if you persist. I actually haven't been to any of those like events in a long time, so I don't know since the game was like officially in its heyday.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I did discard 1 duplicate 8. So that's my only discard. So I discarded 1 card.
And then you say, like, if you have the same value power card, you must discard 1.
Yes. Well, you discard till you only have 1 of that value in your hand. So if you had like 3 8s, you discard 2. So you have to discard till you only have 1 value of the power card in your hand.
Trying to see which one to do. Okay, and on the training cards, when it says or less, that means on the unit, on the character, or okay.
Yeah, it means their stat. Yeah, it's got to be 5 or less of one of those types. Yep.
Okay, I would discard this now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, because that was only till the end of the round, end of the combat.
Yeah, let's just go here. All right.
Alrighty. So you discarded all the discards you need to do?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, one thing to note, because I build my deck a little differently, but you might have specials for your reserve character. Your reserve cannot be attacked normally, but as a trade-off, they can't play cards while they're in reserve. So if you have a special of theirs, you'd want to place it. Otherwise, you're going to end up losing it because you can't play reserve character cards while they're in reserve. So just keep that in mind.
All right, so I should have played this Joker, you're saying?
So should have placed it. Yeah, I would have placed the card.
All right.
Was that from your last hand?
Yeah.
So I'll let you place it if you want to.
Go ahead and place it.
Okay. So just remember that. Yeah. Now, as you didn't go back, you might not have. What's the card? Because you might not have wanted to place it because you can only place one special per character, remember? So if you get a better Joker card, you might have wanted to place that instead.
Okay.
So what is it? Yeah, look at the card. Make sure you really want to have that placed.
Yeah, it's not gonna come in to use for a little while because it's attacks made on Joker is now made on teammate of his choice who may defend.
So he can divert it. He can divert an attack on him to someone else, to his teammate. Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, I would say that for like one of his better cards. That spot. That
makes sense. Okay. It's on me first or you first?
Oh, we got to do the placing. I won the venture total, so I go first again in the next round. So I would start on the placing. And I will place a teamwork card on Professor X, the 8 required, 6 energy, follow-up of strength and fighting. I'm going to place that on Professor X as his universe card that I'm placing. So that's my first place. Now you get to place a card if you want.
All right. I'll place a Joker, the maniacal genius. Choose one universe card, excluding teamwork and training, from draw pile and place it in hand. Reshuffle draw pile.
Cool. Dig for a universe card. That's cool.
And then when does that happen?
When you play the card. So when you can play it, you would play it. Like, so for example, when you have a chance to attack or play a card, you would play that card.
Okay.
However, again, you would have to hold off while he's in reserve until he gets to the front line.
Okay.
All right, so you did that. So it goes back to me to place, and I'm going to place one more card. I'm going to place the Ray Light Constructs. That's one of his specials. And then I'm going to pass to you. Not pass, that goes to you, sorry, because I did place, sorry.
Okay, I'll play Doomsday. Acts as a level 6 fighting attack. Can't be defended by a card with the strength icon.
Ooh, that's cool. All right, so then it goes back to me, and now I actually do pass on the placing. I pass.
Me as well.
Alrighty. Since we both passed, we now go to the venture phase. I'm going to venture 2 again, because it's, again, I think I'm feeling pretty 50-50 right now, so I'm going to venture 2.
I'll venture 1.
Alrighty. All right, and then it would be me who starts, and I'm going to start with I'm going to start small. Let's do this. I'm going to play a Spawn card. So Spawn is going to attack with this card. It's a level 4 intellect attack. This says it may be played against the reserve. So this is one of those rule breaking cards. You normally can't attack the reserve. This one can. And it says if he's successful in attacking the reserve with this attack, then it says that Spawn may attack the reserve for the remainder of the game. So if this goes through, Spawn can, for the rest of the game, continue to attack the reserve. So it's a 4 intellect attack going at Joker from Spawn. And the reserve, even though the reserve can't like play specials or attack, they can defend. So if you have a power card, special, whatever that can defend, you can defend.
Okay. Once again, Bad Dementor just keeps calling my name every 5 to 15 minutes.
I actually need to get some water anyway, really quick, so that's fine.
Be right back.
All right. Okay.
All right, so she's eating, so she'll be good for at least 20 minutes.
Cool. Sweet. All right. So, are you going to block or have to take or choosing to take the Spawn CIA training attack?
And it's what kind of stat?
So it's level. So the specials, if they're attacks, usually specials have their own value and type on the special itself. So specials can be played by that hero regardless of their stats because it's their special. So this Spawn special is CIA training, acts as a level 4 intellect attack, And you can attack the reserve with it. If it hits the reserve, then Spawn can continue to attack the reserve for the rest of the game. So it's a 4 intellect attack.
And a total of what? 4?
4, yeah. 4 intellect.
Oh man, so annoying.
I think Joker's high is 7 intellect, right? So
Yo.
the high intellect card you could block with that, or anything that meets that value that's a power card or a power card with universe. As long as you can play the power card, of course, and can use universe cards.
And teamwork cards, they're only offensive, right?
Yes, they're the one universe card type that's only offensive, correct. Yeah, you can't use teamwork cards defensively. They have to be offense.
And then again, I'm gonna need a intellect power card.
No, you can use any value that meets the 4 or greater, but you have to make sure you can play that power card. So you have to look at his stat grid to see if you can play that power card.
Spawn can keep attacking Joker. 4. 4 is not that high. So need your power cards. You need the power cards. Nah, I'll take.
Alrighty. So that will hit. And it is now your turn, because that was my one attack / action for my part. So it's now your chance to swing or play a card.
And universe cards, basically, they're going to need to be paired with the power card.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And when you do a teamwork attack, you got to go one guy, one different guy, then one different guy.
Yes. The follow-up attacks have to come from separate different teammates, yes. So it's got to be one person makes the attack, then a teammate does the follow-up, and another teammate does the follow-up. Yep. Now, the teamwork doesn't have to have 2 follow-ups. You can choose just to have 1 teammate follow up instead of having 2 follow-ups. You can choose to do 1 follow-up, not both.
All right, I'll do a teamwork doomsday. And it's a 6 fighting to use X as a 6 fighting attack.
Okay, so you swing in for 6 fighting initially. And you'll have me respond to that initial attack, see what I do, and then you'll do the follow up and proceed to do it like I did with my teamwork. So I'll respond to the initial first. And Okay, I think I'm going to use spawns. Spawn or teammate may avoid 1 attack of 9 or less to avoid that first volley there from the teamwork. So now you're going to go ahead and do the follow-ups, 1 or 2 follow-ups. But we do it again, each one resolve 1 at a time. So go ahead and do your first follow-up if you want.
And which icon did that spawn defensive?
Oh, spawn? I didn't use an icon. I used a special that just flat out avoids an attack of 9 or less.
All right. And then I do my follow-up now.
Yep.
Okay.
And specify who's doing. Yeah, and then make sure you do the same thing you did for the first one. Specify who's making that follow-up attack.
Okay, I'll go Bane for 6 intellect +1, so I get 7 intellect with Bane.
So do you have the power card? You got to play the power card from the teamwork.
You got to do that.
Yeah. So again, their stats don't inherently do anything except tell you what they can play up to. So you got to do an actual card from your hand for the attack follow-up. So a power card that they can play.
Okay. Man, she just 1 second.
Not a problem. We're good.
Okay.
Cool.
Right. First teammate. Okay. In the stats on the guys. Okay, so I need to do an intellect right now.
Yeah, or intellect or energy.
or energy. Either way, I'm gonna need intellect and energy. So, so I'm gonna need an intellect power card.
Yep. Intellect or energy power card, wherever they can play that you want to throw out.
Okay, now what if you have a training card?
Training card would not be played in conjunction with that. A training card would be like you did that last round where you put that with a basic power card when you blocked it. Again, you use a training like you would a basic. You combine it with the power card that you're using at the time you use it for one value.
Okay, so training cards never get used with a teamwork attack.
No, correct. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right, let's go and do a +1 to first teammate. So that would be a 8 plus 9, right? Or no?
Now, the value of the card you're playing plus the bonus from the teamwork.
Okay, 2. Which that sucks. And how many cards do you have in hand?
I have 4 in hand.
Okay, so if I throw a 2, and it doesn't matter what stats you have on your characters, right?
Yeah, because again, I've got to play cards from my hand or use something that's already placed, which I don't have any defensive cards placed, so it's going to have to be something from my hand.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just throw the 2.
Okay, so it's 2 plus the bonus, but who's playing the energy attack as the follow-up teammate? Is it Brainiac or Bane?
Brainiac.
Okay, so Brainiac is a follow-up teammate with the 1 energy attack with the bonus. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to block with a level 2 multi-power. You're attacking who again? Remind me, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, declare who you're attacking to.
Spawn.
Okay, so Spawn is going to block with a level 2 intellect, and I've got a card to play from my hand as a react. Professor X has a card he can play as a react, and it's just a team buff. So team gains +2 to all actions for remainder of battle. So it makes that a 4 value instead of a 2 for the block. I only need a 2 anyway. I'm just playing it now, so I can play the card. So he does block that with a 4 intellect. So he does block that. So he blocks the 2 energy attack that was made. So now it goes to where you can do a follow-up, a second follow-up with your third teammate if you want. So Bane at this point could do a follow-up attack. It'd have to be different, though. It'd have to be a fighting attack. So you'd have to be using a fighting power card or a multi-power acting as a fighting.
Wouldn't it have to be an intellect?
Oh, sorry, you're right. Intellect. Intellect. You're right. Intellect. I did the wrong order. Sorry. Yes, the initial card was a fighting attack. Sorry, you're right. Yes, it'd be intellect for that final follow-up if you do a follow-up. Sorry, you're right.
Nope. I'll just pass it.
Okay. So then it goes to me, and Spawn is going to attack with an 8 energy. He has an 8 energy, so you can play this 8 energy power card. He's going to swing at Joker in reserve with 8 energy, but it's actually +2 because of the boost from the telepathic communication I played. So it's a 10 energy attack at Joker from Spawn. All right, so put it there so you can see it. Sorry, it's a 8 +2 from that, so it's a 10 energy attack at Spawn. At Joker.
I got to take.
Okay, so that goes and hits there. All right, now it goes to you again.
All right, and now you have 3 in hand.
I got 1 card in hand. Sorry, 1 card.
And the round ends when both players pass, or?
So if both players pass, then the round ends. Yes. So I have not passed yet. But if you want to pass, you could. If you feel that you're going to lose this anyway, you might as well concede to stop the battle if you wanted to. Unless you want to get something else played. So I'm just putting it as an option. Like that's always an option. If you think you're going to lose the round anyway, and you don't want to lose anything, get any more hits on anybody, you can concede the battle on your turn, and that ends the battle immediately, and we go to a new round with a new venture.
Man, and again, tell me again, the stats on the characters are only to
They
see.
tell you, yeah. So the purpose of the stats, again, they tell you what power card types and at what levels of those types you can play. So in other words, for example, just pull up spawn again. So what this spawn tells me is energy power cards I can play up to an 8. Sorry, it needs to focus. It's not focusing. I'm sorry. Come on.
Yeah.
And then there we go. Yeah. And it tells me that for fighting power cards, I can play up to a level 7 and so forth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And nobody on your side has any damage, right? Yeah.
Not yet, no.
Man, let's go Doomsday. Access a level 6 fighting attack. Can't be defended by a card with the strength icon.
Gotcha.
All right, so swinging that at and kind of look at these stats. All right. Guess I'll swing that at and what does Professor X have on him? The strength card?
Oh, he has no hits on him. He has a level 1 strength. What he have out is just the +2 to all actions for the team for remainder of battles would have on him, but he has no hits right now. He has a 1 strength, so he can play up to a 1 strength power card.
I'm doing fighting attack, but he has no special cards that he can take advantage of right now.
Yeah, no, he has no defensive specials right now that's on him.
All right, I'll swing the 6 fighting on Professor X.
Alrighty. So I'll respond with a 6 intellect, which he can play because he has a 7 intellect. So he's going to block with a 6 intellect. I can do that because it's not a strength, it's an intellect. And it's a 8 total because +2 from his effect. So it's a total of 8 intellect I block with.
In defending, you can block with anything.
Yes.
Yeah, yep. I got to just write that down. Defending, you can block with anything.
Yeah, as long as the value meets, you're fine. And well, unless the card has a special effect. Like, for example, your card that you just attacked with says it can't be defended with strength. So I couldn't use, even if I had the stat value for it, I couldn't defend with a strength power card on that attack you just did. I just happen to have intellect, which I could use. But so again, sometimes you can't, but most of the time, yes, you can block with whatever you want. As long as you can play the card.
Okay. And all right, I'll pass it.
All right. So now it's up to me, and I have options. How many cards do you have left in your hand?
3.
Oh, crap, that's more than I've got no cards left in my hand. So despite how good I'm doing, I might want to concede. Yeah, that's too much of a difference right now. I'm going to concede. So you win those 2, I lose these 2. I'm going to concede. Since I conceded during the battle on my turn, it just ends immediately. You discard all the cards in your hand that you had.
Okay. So I only wagered 1 though.
Yeah. So sorry. So you win the 1, I lose the 2. Sorry. Yeah.
So put the 1 on the bottom of my stack.
No. Your completed is the top. Your lost is the bottom. So you can have completed, reserve, lost. Yep. And then whatever you venture, you put to the side of your reserve, like that. But I don't know how you ended up with so many cards, man. I'm like, what? I ended up placing a bunch too, so that'd probably be why. All right. Well, good job, man. Good job. So I had to concede that. It was good.
Okay, so you've got +2.
So I've got 2 to the win, 1 loss, and then you've got 1 win, 2 loss so far.
Yeah. Right.
All right. I'm going to draw up for a new hand size. Oh, well. Okay. This is going to be interesting. Oh, okay, cool. All right. So I drew up to my new hand size. I have no discards I have to do, so I get to keep all 8 cards.
Okay, so those multis you have, those are multi-power cards, right?
Yeah, correct. Again, they are still power cards, so you'll have to discard for value if it matches other stuff in your hand for power cards that match value. But it is a multi-power. So if you actually keep it and play it, you can choose what type it is when you play the card.
Is there like a max number of multi-power cards you can have in a deck?
No, there's no limit. You can stack most of my 1 through 4s in my deck are all multi-powers. My 1 through 4 values, most of them are are multi-powers. So there's no limit to the number of power cards, whether it's multi-powers, standard power cards. The only thing you really have is a deck building limitation. Is some specials will say 1 per deck, and you can only have 1 of those in your deck. But otherwise, it's pretty open. You can build it pretty much how you want.
And if you have the same number on a power card, you must discard 1.
Well, discard down to you only have 1 of that value in your hand. So if you have like 3 8s, you have to discard 2 of them. So you have to discard to only have 1 of each value of power card in your hand.
Okay. How many power cards are usually in a deck?
That really varies depending on your style. I'll say what's popular. What's popular is to have a bunch of specials in your deck because you tend to do most of the rule breaking in a game. So a lot of people like to pack a lot of specials. Me, I like to keep it 50-50. I like to have half of my deck power cards, the other half other card types. But that's a personal preference. I like to have it 50-50.
Okay. And whenever I discard, that doesn't impact you, right?
Yeah, correct. It doesn't affect me. Yeah, I checked my hand. I didn't have any discards this round. If you have multiple power card values and one of them is a multi-power, I usually keep the multi-power since that can be any type when you play the card.
Oh, yeah. All right. Had to get rid of 3. Okay. Yeah, I had an intercom system going, but
Oh. All right. Cool.
Right. So now we're wagering.
Yeah. So did you discard any cards?
3.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, she won't stop calling. 1 second.
Okay.
Doesn't want anything, just calling for no damn reason.
I'm so sorry, man. Cool.
Okay, so got my mom to talk to her for a minute.
Gotcha.
Right. All right.
All right. Now I conceded, so since I conceded the battle, that means I lost that round, which means that means you won the round basically. So that means you get to start this next round. So whoever wins the adventure total from the previous round starts the new round. So
Okay.
you get to take the first swing.
Okay. Most games come down to the missions, right?
A lot of times, yeah. I've been able to do like take everyone out and do the missions same time, but that's if you're lucky. Usually, a lot of times it's the missions because in a lot of ways you can make a game very short by just adventuring like crazy and have a very short game. So these games tend not to be very long because a lot of it is determined by the missions. So you can have a very short game or a longer game.
Okay. And you got a 7 in hand or 8.
I've got 8 in hand. Yeah, didn't discard any. Yep, I've got 8. Oh, but we first need to place first before we start venturing. Sorry. So you get to place the first card. Sorry.
No placement for me.
Oh wow. Okay. In that case, I will place a spawn card. Preternatural powers. It's a level 4 multi-power attack. And then you can make an additional attack after it does that. But that's it. Goes back to you. So I have nothing left either. So essentially, we're both passing. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to. Oh, you venture first. I'm sorry because you have the initiative this round, so you get a venture first.
Right. So I mean, the game ends when the 7 cards are depleted.
Yeah. So, well, when you have no. So basically, if all the cards are either all lost or all completed, I'm sorry, or all lost, is how it's game over by venturing. So if you win all your missions, then you win. If you lose all your missions, you lose. So you need to have all of your missions in one of those 2 piles. So you can't have like some here and some here. It'd be all lost or all won for you to win or lose from missions.
Okay. Man, I think she messed up the phone somehow. 1 second. it's just all day. 1 second.
Not a problem. But I've had. Oh, sorry. I did not mean to interrupt. No, stupid phone. Oh my gosh. Stupid phone. Okay. All right.
All right. Phone got disconnected.
Not a problem.
Here we go.
Alrighty. Cool.
Alrighty. So I'll go ahead and suit the moon for 2.
Alrighty. So you're going to venture 2. Now, one thing you can do, just to let you know while you're doing that, you can also venture from your completed pile if you want to venture from there. However, if you lose those, you're going to lose what you've gained if you lose. So that's just something to know. So you're going to venture 2. I'm actually going to venture.
What's the point of venturing from the completed pile?
The point of that is if you venture from the completed, if you venture 1 from the completed, you can move 1 from the lost back to the reserve. If you venture 2 from the completed, you can move 1 directly from the lost to the completed if you win. So there's advantageous reasons if you're trying to get some stuff from your lost pile, from your lost missions. So in this case, you venture 2. So I am going to do this. I'm going to venture 2 from my completed and 2 from the reserve. So I'm going to venture 4. Because I ventured 4, that's 2 above the 2. So you get to draw 2 cards from your draw deck. You still have to discard duplicates or unusables, but you get to draw 2 cards.
Okay. And the only thing that would cause you to discard is just power cards, right?
Well, no, if you have an exact duplicate for specials or universe cards, they're duplicates as well. It's just that power cards are duplicates by value, not value and type. So it's easier to get duplicates power cards versus duplicate specials or universes.
Okay. So with you going so heavy, that's just telling me that you got a great hand, or
It's generally a fairly confident move, yes. That is true.
okay. Right. Yeah, this camera. I don't know about this thing. You've got a regular arm, right?
Yeah, I've got like an arm piece that I've got set up, yeah. So it just hangs over it's like hanging over the table.
I got a gooseneck, so probably need to try to fix that somehow. I don't know. But all right.
All right, so we ventured, so you get to take the first swing or do the first thing.
You've got 8 in hand, okay?
7, because I did place 1. So I've got 7 in hand, and I've got 4 cards placed that I can access this round as well.
Okay. And yeah, let me go over those again. That Professor X is just a multi-use what?
So the Professor X card is a target character can't attack for remainder of battle. It's a non-numerical attack. So if I hit somebody with it, then they can't attack for remainder of battle. So that's what
Major battle.
Yeah, remainder of battle, not game.
Okay.
Battle. Yeah. So that's Sonic Cold. I've got a teamwork that he's got placed, which is a 6 energy attack +1/+3 follow-up teamwork.
Oh, you can place teamwork.
Yeah, it's a universe card. So again, you can place on characters up to 1 power, 1 special, and 1 universe card.
Okay. And you place them because you don't want them to be discarded later.
Yeah. So example, I placed them because I didn't know if I was going to use them that round. So by placing them, I can keep them for the next round. All these things, with everything except for this one, these 3 have been from previous rounds. I've placed them, I haven't used them yet. So again, if you're not sure you're going to use a card, generally placing is a good idea because then you can use it for next round if you don't use it.
Okay. Now, since you ventured 4, if you only get 3, then what happens?
Well, no. You get all of it or none of it. So if I win it, then I'm going to get all of it. If I lose it, I lose it all.
Okay. And what's under the ray and spawn?
The ray is draw 3 cards, discard duplicates. So I can draw 3 cards. I still have to discard any duplicates I draw into, but I can draw 3 cards. That's the rays.
Spawns?
Spawns is a level 4 multi-power attack. May make 1 additional attack. So it's basically a multi-power 4 that's a special that allows me to attack again.
Okay.
And that is it for what I've got placed.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do Joker's.
He's
Choose
in
one.
reserve. He's in reserve though, right? So again, he can't play specials while he's in reserve. Once he moves up to frontline, then he can play his placed cards generally.
You pretty much only move up if somebody dies or like if there's a special thing.
Yeah, so generally it's going to be the point of the reserve is your replacement hero for when one of your frontline dies. That's sort of the purpose of the reserve. And so, yeah, you'll move up, but there's some cards that will move them up as well. There's like exceptions, yeah, but normally it's when someone dies.
All right. Let's see.
I forgot DC came out with allied training cards. I mean, yeah, so I could have kept those in my deck. I didn't think about it. Oh well.
It's a weird hand. Man, at this point, logic would tell me to just defend instead of trying to attack.
Well, you have to attack or play a card if you can. So you can't just not do anything unless you're going to actually concede the battle, kind of thing. So if you have a card in your hand you can play, you have to play something unless you concede. But we will switch off. So you only have to play one card from your hand before you have a defensive moment, because I will then act after you act. But when you have a chance to act, you have to play a card, whether it's a game effect or an attack.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and attack.
But I'll tell you this: if you're thinking you want to be defensive, then yeah, you're throwing out the lower attacks. If you think you want to be mostly defensive, is a smart move. So yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll swing a. Man, I keep forgetting this, but so say I'm throwing a 1 power. That would mean my thing would be just a 1 power attack.
Yeah, it's 1 intellect. Yeah, the value of the power card is the actual value of the attack or defense.
Okay.
Yep. So it's a 1 intellect from who to who?
Brainiac to Spawn.
Okay, so 1 to Spawn. I will block with a 1 intellect as well, using a multi-power as an intellect. So block that. All right, then it's my go, and I am going to. Yep. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use my multi-power 4 attack from Spawn at Joker in reserve. So he's going to attack with that, and he's going to use it as a strength attack. And that would be a blocker die for a Spectrum KO on Joker, because I can use that as a strength. And Joker has this on him already. So Joker has the 4 intellect from previously and the 8 energy already on there. So it is a 3rd power type. So it would Spectrum.
And that's a 4 strength?
It's a 4 strength, yep.
So Joker's only 2 strength, so that means Joker can only play a 2 strength power card? Or?
If it's strength, yes. But you can, when you're just numerically blocking, you can use any type. So as long as you can play the card, you can block with it. So if you have like a 4 intellect, you could do that. I think Joker has a 5 energy, right? So if you have a 4 energy, you could block with that.
Yeah, go ahead and block with the multi.
All right, so that does block, so that takes care of that. And it does say that Spawn may do an additional attack. So his follow-up will be a level 2 strength multi-power power card, which will be again a blocker die because it will be another. It's another multi-power attack, but it's a 2 this time. It's not a 4. It's a level 2.
Okay, and one spectrum death takes you out of the game, or
it takes out that character, not you as a player out of the game. It will knock out the character.
Okay. I'll just block here with 3. Man, do you have a lot of lag on your camera?
I don't know.
Do you know how to fix that?
I don't know. I'm not seeing any lag on my end, so I apologize if it's lagging because I'm not seeing any lag. I don't know.
No. Mine is lagging. Yours isn't.
Oh, gotcha.
Mine is super lag.
All right. So those are both my attacks for my action. So it goes back to you.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. And that was your move, so now it's my move.
Yep.
And now you must have 5 in hand. 4 in hand. 5.
Yep, I've got 5. You're right. I've got 5 in hand.
I get it now. Okay. All right. Play this. Joker's out of the game, right?
No, I thought you said you blocked the 2.
Yeah. Sure did. Play this ally multi.
So yeah. So who's playing the ally? It's got. I think it's someone has to have 5 or less on their energy, right?
Okay. Yeah. Let's go. Doomsday. Yeah, Doomsday.
So Doom's attacking, and it's what is the attack level of it? 3. Okay, so it's a 3 energy attack. And who are you attacking?
3 attacking. Man. What's Ray's stat?
Ray is sorry. So Ray is an 8-4-4-2. So 8 energy, 4 fighting, 4 strength, 2 intellect.
And let's go Spawn.
All right, so you're attacking Spawn. And that's a 3. I will block with 5 energy. Spawn blocks with 5 energy. And then you get to play a special from a teammate as a follow-up.
Now, it can't be Joker, even though...
Yeah, it can't because he's in reserve. It's got to be someone in your front line.
All right. I'll pass that.
So with ally cards, you actually... There was an update. Allied cards are like teamwork, so you have to do a follow-up or you can't play it. So the allied cards, I think the allied cards is printed as may. That's an error. It's actually must. So to play an allied card, you have to have a teammate that can play a special to play an allied card.
Yeah. Yeah, it's better to just not even play this then.
Yeah, because if you don't have a follow up you can do legitimately, then yeah, you wouldn't play that.
Yeah, good thing they're restarting the game. So I don't have to worry about so much errata. Yep. Man. All right. So yeah. So I'm forced to play this. 5.
I'm assuming that's from Doomsday, right? No, it could be from Bane too, right? They both
You know
have
what?
6 strength.
You
Yeah.
know what? Actually, I can do a teamwork. So
Oh yeah, if you can do a teamwork, that's a good combo to do. Yep. All right.
man,
So
I'm gonna write this down. But the stats on the cards are
okay.
only stats on characters. Only for what power cards they can play.
So basically, for what Power Universe cards they can play. Yep.
Cards they can play. All right. All right. Cool. All right. So playing teamwork. And who's gonna play that?
So Doomsday is attacking with that, or who is attacking with that again?
Um,
It's got to be someone with a 6 intellect, right?
all right. So let's go. Mm, yeah. Let's go. Brainiac's throwing it.
All right. And who's Brainiac attacking?
Brainiac's attacking. That's a 6, and
Yeah, my entire team is an 8 energy team, so they can all play up to an 8 energy power card. So they all have access to the same power card type max across the board. So they can all play up to an 8 energy.
okay. Yeah, just throwing a 6 intellect at, and let's go. In Prof X's, man, it doesn't. The stats on the characters only for what power slash.
If so the higher their stats are, the stronger they are because inherently they can play higher power cards. So they can play, defend or attack with higher value versus characters that have lower stats. That is a measure of their ability, but again, they're playing cards to attack or defend, not using their stats to do the actual action.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Professor X's intellect is a 2, right?
It's 7. He's at 2 fighting, 1 strength, but his intellect is 7. Let me bring this up again. So these are his stats.
Okay, and the Ray's intellect is what?
The Ray's intellect is a 2.
All right, so let's throw it at the Ray.
Right, and so you're doing the Ray. It's a 6 intellect. I am going to block with a 7 energy. So I'll block that. Then you get to do the follow-ups, though. Up to 2 follow-ups.
Okay, let's do. Bane will do fighting.
All right, so play your fighting power card. It's going to combine with it.
You can't play an ally card. No.
No, the only thing you play in conjunction with a teamwork are power cards.
Okay. Even if something says act as fighting attack.
Yeah, it acting as an attack just means it's going to be thrown as an attack. Doesn't mean it can combine with a card. It's very specific that again, universe cards are combining with power cards, whether it's a basic, training, or a teamwork. You're combining with power cards.
Okay. No, I guess I will not even follow up.
Okay, so again, just like the ally cards, teamwork cards require at least one follow up to be able to play the card.
What?
Yeah, you do need to have at least one follow up on the teamwork. So you can't do no follow up.
All right. Let's do Doomsday of 5.
All right, so Doomsday is a follow up. And what's the bonus from the teamwork card for the follow up?
+1.
So it's a 6 attack. Okay. And who are you swinging at with the 6?
Doomsday.
No, I mean, Doomsday's attacking with 6. Who is he attacking? Sorry.
Oh, Doomsday's attacking. I guess Professor X is a 1, right? 1 strength.
Yeah.
Yeah. Professor X.
Alrighty. So I will play in response Professor X's Read Mind, which is his avoid one attack special. So it's his defensive special. So I will play that. And then if you have the power card for it and the ability, you can do another follow up with your last teammate there in the front line.
No.
Alrighty. So that and it goes to me. And I'm going to do this. We're going to do Professor X, and he's going to swing at Doomsday. It's going to be a level 8 multi-power attack, so I'm going to use this as a 8 strength attack since it's a special, so you can play it regardless of his stats. So I'm going to attack, and so let me put it here for now. Okay, so he's attacking with a level 8 strength attacks, Mind Wipe, his special. And he's going to attack Doomsday.
Level 8 power.
Yeah, level 8 strength. It's not a power card, it's a special, but it's a level 8 strength attack, yes.
Yep, I've got a take.
Alrighty. So that hits. So that is now a hit to current record on Doomsday. Alright, now it goes back to you.
I've got to.
I've got 2 cards left in hand, just so you're aware.
Yeah, I've got to concede the round.
Alrighty. So I had a power card left and the raise 1 per deck left in my hand. Alright.
I just had 2 stupid ally cards.
Gotcha. Alright, so I did 8 this round, so that means a 1. So my 2 that were completed go here. Did venture 2, so that's going to go there. And those go there.
Okay, all right, so you did. Okay, so you ventured. Well,
so I ventured 2 from the completed. So that took 1 from the lost and brought it right up to the completed. Then I ventured 2 from the reserve that just went to completed.
Okay, and you got those because I conceded the round.
Yes. So if you concede, it does end the round immediately. Everyone discards and you start a new round, but you do lose the missions if you concede.
Okay.
So did
now
you
this
still
deck this starter deck kind of sucks, right?
So the starter deck is pretty basic. It's meant to give an idea of how you play the game. It's not meant to be like competitive, really. It's meant to just sort of teach you the game.
So. Okay, so training cards are not generally ally cards are generally not a good idea.
No, actually, they're the second best card type in the game. Actually, what's not used as much are the basic training or basic universe cards. The universe cards that are used the most are ally and universe heavily. I mean, ally and training. No, ally and teamwork. There we go. Sorry, ally and teamwork with heavily emphasis on teamwork. Like basic, yeah. So the most popular teamwork card, universe card in a deck for like non tutorial play for like actually competitive play or constructed play, I should say, this should be the term. They will put a lot of teamwork cards in their deck because, as you saw, a teamwork card allows you to throw out 2 to 3 attacks before your opponent gets to respond with an attack of their own. So teamwork cards are very, very popular. So teamwork cards is the most prominent universe card in a deck, then followed heavily by the ally card because the ally is doing the same thing but with specials. You get to do an attack and fire off a special, so you get to do damage and possibly fire off a special before your opponent gets to do something on their end. So those two are the most popular because you're again doing multiple things in one shot before your opponent can react.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up my ally cards. I don't know what I did with them.
Should be somewhere there. Boom, boom, boom.
Mm.
Where did they go?
Okay, I must have put them right here. Okay.
Okay. Oh,
okay.
They're there. There they are.
Yeah. I put them in the defeated pile. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And so the reason, and so as an offshoot for because of how effective they are on getting multiple things done before your opponent has a chance to do something on his end, that's why they're restricted to saying you have to do a follow-up. Teamwork, you have to do at least one follow-up. Ally cards, you have to do the follow-up. Because they allow you to do two or three things before your opponent gets to do something on his end. So they're very powerful cards because of that.
But you've got to have a special card in hand, though.
No, it can be something that you have placed as well. You don't have to have it in hand. So if you, for example, if I were to play an ally card and in my hand, I could play it, and then I could play as a follow-up special, I could play this card that was placed with Professor X. You just have to play a special, whether from hand or placed, with a teammate as a follow-up.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. So that is 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So we'll do the new hand.
Now you say deck building restrictions are what?
So the only deck building restrictions are specials that say 1 per deck. Those you can only have 1 in your deck. Otherwise, you can, and then of course the minimum where you have to have, if you don't have events, at least 51 cards. If you do have events, at least 56 cards. So as long as you have the minimum and you don't have more than 1 of a 1 per deck card in your deck, so you can have, every character has 1 or more 1 per deck cards. Every character has those in their specials. But you can't have like 2 Psionic Holds. You can only have 1 because it's a 1 per deck. So as long as you're observing those 2 things, no more than 1 per deck, copy of 1 per deck, of that 1 per deck, and you're having that minimum deck, you can build your deck any way you want. Those are the only restrictions.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, like, if you're trying to make this deck better, you definitely just put in more power, less ally. No. Less training and less just regular universe cards.
Yeah, so they're not incredibly useful compared to the other universe types. That's why a lot of people just don't use them a bunch. Yeah. So if you're going to customize, you just put very little to none of the basic or training universe cards because they aren't nearly as useful as the other 2 that I was mentioning.
Cool. All right. So I guess new round.
Yep. Goes to a new round. I drew my hand. And I do not discard any. The one thing to mention while we're doing this that I don't think I mentioned before, anything placed would count as it would be considered during that discard portion of your draw and discard. So, for example, if I have a level 8 card placed, but I draw 1 or more 8s in my hand, I do have a duplicate. I'd have to discard either. I would have to discard what's in my hand. Because you can't voluntarily discard a card that's placed. When you place it, it's placed until you use it or discard it from other means.
Okay, anything placed from a previous turn too, or just that turn?
On a previous turn too.
Okay.
You don't yeah. So I mean, you can use the cards that are placed, but you can't discard voluntarily. Just say I'm discarding a placed card. You can't do that. When you place it, it stays placed till it's used. Basically, does it make sense?
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So in the case of the duplicate scenario that I was describing, if you had like an 8 placed and 2 8s in your hand, and since placed cards count for duplicates wise, I would have to discard the 8s from my hand and keep the 8 that's placed because you can't voluntarily discard an 8. Because you can't voluntarily discard placed cards. So yeah, you just got to keep that in mind when you're placing. That it will be a card that will remain in play till used and will count as a duplicate for hand discard purposes.
Mm.
Alrighty. I have no duplicates to discard, so I do have my full 8 hand.
Discard 1.
Alright, discard 1. Alright. So then we're going to place. I'm going to place Doctor Strange card on Doctor Strange. So there's Doctor Strange card. Then it goes to you.
Place a Brainiac. Opponent must draw 1 card from draw pile. Drawing cards and any duplicate of it placed or in hand must be discarded.
Oh, that's a potential to wipe out some dupes. That's cool. That's sweet. Alrighty. I'm going to place a teamwork card here on Spawn. It's a 6 energy attack with a +2/+3 for the follow-up. It goes back to you.
Man, this thing is terrible. No more placements for me.
All right.
Well, man, I mean, you can place training cards and everything.
Yeah, so you can place. So again, every character has a limit of up to 1 special, 1 power, and 1 universe placed on them. Although I will say that normally I don't place power cards a lot because most of the time I keep those for the actual round, but you can place power cards. So again, the limit of 1 universe, 1 special, 1 power that can be placed on each character.
Yeah, I guess no. I'll pass it.
Alrighty, so I pass as well, so that's it. Now we do the venturing. I'm going to venture 3. I'm going to venture 2 from the completed, 1 from the reserve. And that will be game venture-wise if I win. So because it'll move the 2 from the venture, will bring this lost one up to the completed right away. And the 1 from my reserve will move to completed if I win. But you do get to draw an extra card since I did go 3 instead of 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll go to you to venture.
No, venture 2.
Alrighty. Alright, so that means that I would start, and I'm going to start with this. So I'm going to do a level 6 energy attack from Professor X from the card he had placed. So he's attacking, and he's going to attack Doomsday with that. Doomsday does have on him 9 cumulative and 2 of the 3 power types because 2 are multi-powers. So these can be any ones I want. So basically 1 more power type will do it. And so I'm going with the 6 energy, which is a non-multi-power power card. So it doesn't have the fusion rule, and it'll be the 3rd type. So this will be a blocker KO on Doomsday. It's a 6 energy attack.
All right, I'll go block the 6.
Can Doomsday play a 6 intellect? I'm attacking Doomsday.
He sure cannot.
Oh, he can. Oh, okay. I did not know he has a 6 intellect.
Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't.
I think Bane is one that's got the 6 intellect on the front line there, along with Brainiac. So I think Doomsday's highs are fighting and strength, with a 6 fighting and 8 strength. So you'd want a 6 fighting or strength if you're playing a power card to block. If you're playing just a power card. If you have a universe basic or to add to that, then you can do that, of course. But
Now, can't play an ally card.
yeah, ally cards are like teamwork cards. They're offensive only.
Okay. All universe cards are only
So basic or training universe cards can be offensive or defensive, but again, you have to play it in conjunction with an appropriate power card.
okay. You're doing a intellect attack, right?
Yes, but again, you can block with any value as long as the value meets or exceeds the attack. But again, you have to make sure you can play whatever you're playing.
Okay, you can block with any value. You just need to be able to play it.
Yes, correct. Mm-hmm.
Your stat just needs to allow you to play that high
Yep.
of a certain power card. Okay. All right, so 1 intellect. That is crazy.
Well, Doomsday was never too bright.
Yep, so no, I guess there's hardly any way for me to get out of this.
All right, so
Except
that
having
is
a 6 intellect. What could be a way to get out of this? Just having a 6 intellect somehow. But I've only got 1 though.
yeah.
There's just pretty much the foregone conclusion he's gonna get hit.
Yeah. With what it sounds like what you got in your hand, yeah.
Okay, now what could I have in my hand to make it work?
If you don't have a 6 power card that's a fighting or strength, at least a 6 that's well, you can't go higher than a 6 on fighting. So a 6 fighting power card or a 6 or greater strength. If you don't have one of those, then you can use a power card that is not higher than one of the lower ones if you have a training that you could add to it to up the value.
Okay, so you can block with anything. Just okay. You can block with anything. Just it has to be okay. So Doomsday is a 4-6-8-1. So as long as I block with the 6 fighting, I can be able to defend the 6 intellect attack.
You could block with a 6 strength too. It just has to be as long as you can play the card.
Yeah, 6 fighting or 6 strength.
No.
Nope. Got nothing.
Yeah, okay. So that is going to end up hitting. So that will KO Doomsday. So what you do is any of the hits. So these would be on his permanent record. These would be handed back to the person who hit him. So these would go back to me, and then the hit that hit him would stay for the current battle for tally. So this that hit him would stay for the current battle. So it's not discarded. And then you discard Doomsday and any cards placed on Doomsday.
Okay. And Joker comes out.
Not right away. He comes up when you go to the new battle. So he stays in the reserve right now. He comes up when you start the new round.
Okay.
All right. So that was a teamwork. So I'm going to start with the follow-ups. So the first follow-up will be from Spawn. And he's going to follow up with a fighting attack. And he's going to follow up with a 7 fighting with a +1 from the teamwork, so it's a level 8 fighting, and again, Spawn can attack Joker, so he's attacking Joker with an 8 fighting.
8 fighting. Okay, so Joker's gonna block with a 7 intellect. So it'll be a 6.
So my total attack is 8, 7 +1 from the teamwork. So 8 attack coming at you. So if you have an 8 total you can block with.
Yeah. I was trying to do a training too, but 3. Nope, got no way around it. I don't think.
Right. So that hits, and that will KO him as well, because on his record he had an energy and intellect. So that's the third power type, is the fighting. So that will knock him out from Spectrum. But I think it also works for, no, it's one away from cumulative, but it's Spectrums. All right. And then I have one more follow-up I can do with Ray. The Ray is going to follow up. He's going to do a 1 with a +3. Because the second follow-up person gets +3. So it's a +3 strength from the Ray. And the Ray is going to attack Bane, and so it's a 4 total. And it's coming in as a strength attack on Bane. Stays for hits from current battle, so I'm going to put that there for now.
And now Bane's got no hits on him so far, right?
Yeah, correct. He's got no hits, so it would just be a 1 that's a multi-power that hits, if it hits.
And man, you've got what in hand right now?
I have 4 cards in hand.
I'll go ahead and take that.
Alrighty, so that lands, and that is my volley, so it goes to you.
Okay. swing on Spawn with Bane.
Alrighty.
And
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
and that's a 6, yeah.
6. Okay. So I will use 6 energy to block. Alrighty. And then it's going to go back to me. Alright. So, let's just do this. I'm going to swing at Brainiac with a 6 energy from Spawn. So I'll just put that here for right now. So Spawn is attacking with 6 energy at Brainiac. Brainiac has a multi-power 4 on his record. So this is what he has on his record. Is a multi-power 4. This is what Brainiac has on his record.
Okay. You know, I got nothing. Either the cards I'm drawing are sucking or something's going on. But
Gotcha. So that hits. The follow-up attack is going to be from. Let's do from Professor X an intellect follow-up with +2, and that is. Oh, actually, no. Never mind. Never mind. I do have to do at least one to follow up. Sorry. Okay. So we'll do a 4 intellect attack from Professor X, and that will be swung at Brainiac. Not Brainiac, I mean Bane. Sorry, Bane. So Professor X is swinging at Bane with a 4 +2, 6 intellect attack total.
and again, you can only block with power card.
No, there's some specials that allow you to block, but usually if it's a defensive special, say avoid. But there are a few, but normally, yes, it's normally going to be power card combined with the universe card or just a power card. Usually when you're blocking, it's going to be that you use. But usually if it's a defensive special, usually it's going to be an avoid kind of thing where it'll say avoid 1 attack or avoid a numerical attack of a type, or, it'll be some avoid wordage on the special if it's defensive usually.
Yeah, I got a crappy set of power cards. All right, so you're throwing a 6, right? 6 intelligence.
Yep. 6 intellect. Yep.
Nope. I got to take.
All right, and I'm not going to do the second follow-up, so I will pass to you.
Okay, that means you got 2 in hand, or?
So I have 2 cards in hand. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I think we forgot to mention it. I think I didn't mean to look, but I think I saw it on the screen. Do you have an event in your hand?
Yeah, but it's not great right now. But
Yeah.
I mean, discarded.
Well, yeah, so events are supposed to be handled a certain way, and sorry, I apologize. So let's see if you can resolve it now and get things corrected. So when you do the discard, when you do your draw hand and then you discard duplicates unusables, you're supposed to actually play that from your hand automatically into play and then draw a card to replace it. So that's supposed to come out right away automatically. So what was the effect for the event? Can you read it?
Yeah, all level 1 power cards can't be blocked this battle.
Okay, so it doesn't affect the battle so far, but just keep that in mind. If you have a level 1 power card, it can't be blocked this battle.
And you can only have one event card in the deck.
Yeah, events are one per deck, but you can have. There's usually events are sets of 5, so there's usually 5 to 6 events per mission. And if you're playing with the mission, you can put any of the number of those events into the deck. But you're only going to have one copy of any given event in your deck.
But 5 copies though.
Not copies, but you have up to 5 different events. Yes. Yeah, you can only have one copy of each event, but you can have up to 5 events because there's 5 different events that belong to each mission.
But the starter deck is only giving me 3 though.
Yeah, because they don't include because they've always wanted to keep some for the booster pack kind of thing. So there's some that you find in just the boosters.
Okay, that's cool. Right. Man, and also, yeah, specials maze are also must.
No, specials are not. That's not a rat on specials. Specials are always what as it reads. So if it says May, it's a May on specials.
Okay. Okay, so you've already collected 3 hits this turn, right?
So far we've gotten 1, 2, 3 hits so far. A 6, a 7, and a 4. Oh no. 4 hits because you didn't block the level 6 from this, did you? I don't think you did.
No.
So there's actually 4 hits. Sorry. So it's actually a 6, a 7, a 6, and a 4. That hit.
And let's hit with let's go for Brainiac's gonna hit with a 1 fighting on spawn.
Okay. And because of your event, it's unblockable. So I would have to avoid it if I had a special that avoids, but otherwise I have to take it because it's unblockable because of your event.
Okay.
So I take it. So then it goes to me. And I'm going to go ahead and I will do. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do a level 8 energy attack from Professor X onto Bane because I believe this I hit Brainiac with. Yeah. So I'm going to do an 8 energy at Bane, an 8 energy attack from Professor X. That will leave him. Let's see, 8, 9. That'll leave 7 left on his record for cumulative.
Man, like I'm saying, this deck sucks because I don't think I have any 8s.
Oh, you don't have any 8s in there? Oh yeah, it's a starter deck. I think so.
Yeah, I don't think this deck has any 7s either. Deck sucks. All right. Yeah. Right. All right. So that's 8 on Bane. And
Yep.
It's energy.
Yep, correct.
Okay. And Bane's got 2 hits on him.
Yes, but they're both multi-power, so he can't change the types, but it is a multi-power that can be any type. So this would be 1 away from Spectrum and 7 away from Cumulative if it hits. But it's not a kill, yeah. It doesn't take him out.
Yep, I got nothing close to 8.
Okay, so that's going to hit. I'll put it over here. All right, and it goes to you.
All right. Ally with Brainiac. 6 energy to use. X settles a 1 energy attack.
Alrighty. And I'm guessing you're going to go for the one that you put the multi-power on. I'm assuming. Right? But it's up to you.
Spawn, right?
Yeah, Spawn's the one that has the
Yeah.
multi-power.
Yep. All right.
Alright, so you attack with that. I need to respond to that first.
I think it can't be blocked since it's a 1 attack.
No, your event said level 1 power card attacks can't be blocked. That's a allied card you're attacking with. Yeah. So I will block with a level 5 fighting. Actually, yeah, 5 fighting from Spawn. But you do have the follow-up that you can do if you have a special with a teammate to play.
I must do it, right?
Yeah, it's a must because they did a rat of that. It's a must, not a may.
Okay.
It's the 2 strength attack may make up to 2 additional attacks from Bane. I think that's it, right?
Yeah. Hey, can I throw a Joker special on somebody or no?
No, because Joker is still in reserve right now. He hasn't moved up yet.
Oh, I think Joker's dead now.
Oh yeah, I took out Joker anyway. Yeah.
Oh.
It's gone.
All right, level 2 strength attack. So yeah, 2.
Alrighty, and that's gonna go. I'm guessing on the multi-power hit person. Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. And why Spawn multi-power?
Because that's the one you hit. You attacked with a level 1 multi-power, didn't you? So I thought you did.
It has a hit on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have to take the 2 strength attack. So now he's 1 type away from KO for Spectrum.
Okay. All right. And yep, I guess you'll go.
So yeah, I took that. So it goes as a hit. Yep.
I think I might have kind of fixed it by tightening up this little righty tighty, but not sure though.
Oh, gotcha. Now the Bane card is specific. It says may make 2 additional attacks, not up to 2 additional. So if you're going to make additional attacks, you have to make 2 additional attacks with Bane's card.
Oh, yep. In that case, I suppose not.
Okay, so in that case, you would say you're finished with it, and then go back to me.
See, like your cards aren't restrictive like these, right?
I tend to keep the less restrictive versions of the cards. Every character has a subpar versus an excellent set of their cards. They're all designed that way, where they have better cards versus not as good cards.
Oh yeah.
So
you got to buy those boosters.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do on my turn is I'm going to play Light Constructs from the Ray to draw 3 cards. So I will draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Now I have to still discard duplicates, but luckily none of those 3 I drew are duplicates. So now it goes back to you. So I have 3 cards in hand now.
I'll do Brainiac's deal to do opponent must draw 1 card from draw pile, drawn card.
Oh, yeah.
And any duplicate of it placed or in hand must be discarded.
Okay, well, it makes sense to do that when I did my thing. So it's a multi-power 2. So, and luckily I don't have any of that in my hand, so we're good.
Nice. Right.
So I did lose the 2. Alrighty. So that was your turn. Okay. So I'm going to use Spawn to do a level 6 fighting attack. It's Brainiac, who has a multi-power 4 and a level 6 energy on him. So this will be a Spectrum blocker die. That'll be from Spawn.
And it's 6 fighting?
Yeah, 6 fighting. Yep.
Yep, all I got is a 2 fighting.
All right, so that will take out Brainiac. Brainiac will be gone.
I mean, and then it's 3 Spectrum is the game, right?
No, technically it would be until everyone's KO'd or all missions are in the appropriate pile when the game's over. But you mean for the character to be KO'd? Yes, 3 of the type. Yeah, for Spectrum. Yep. So now it goes back to you.
Okay. Hey, only the host can make one player scream full screen, right?
I think so.
Okay, I was wondering what happened to that function. But all right. Trying to zoom in like on your cards to see the stats.
Got me to. I can see if I can expand mine. I don't know if. Let's see. There we go. Can you see mine better?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's way better. I wonder if you could give me the host next time too.
Okay.
Or, yeah. Look into it.
I don't really know how to do that with StreamYard. I know that if you set it up on StreamYard, then you'll be the host. I don't know how to switch hosts.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, give them like hosting powers or whatever.
Something I'll have to look at it. I don't know how to do it. I'll research it.
All right, cool. All right, I'll throw a 2 strength with Bane going at no 2 fighting going at what's Spawn fighting?
So these are all Spawn is the one that's missing fighting. You've got a multi-power and a 2 strength special on him, so he's missing 1 type. Yep.
Oh, Spawn doesn't have fighting?
Yeah, Spawn doesn't have fighting. Yep.
Why doesn't Spawn have fighting?
Because you hit a multi-power on him, unless you want to make the multi-power fighting. But he has a multi-power on him and the 2 strength attack that you hit him with. So he's got a strength and a multi-power. He doesn't have a fighting on him yet. So you can Spectrum him right now if I don't have a block. If you attack Spawn with the 2 fighting.
Okay. Oh, so the multi is whatever.
Yeah, correct.
And then I've got a strength on him.
Yep, and you need just 3 of the 4 types to Spectrum.
Okay. Yeah, I'll throw the 2 fighting at Spawn.
Okay. And then I'm going to block with the 2 fighting from Spawn. Sorry, 2 fighting. There we go. 3 fighting. Sorry.
Okay.
Spawn. Which would then go back to me, and I've got a card left in my hand that I have to play. So I will. Oh wow! Sorry. I was sending an 8 energy. This will be from Professor X. First I want to move this. This is Brainiac's, so it doesn't take out Brainiac.
Okay.
Oh, actually, wait, never mind. He has an 8 on him already, sorry. So that's 8, 9. Actually, no. Cumulative-wise, it would. So it is a blocker die on cumulative. Sorry. So Professor X is swinging at Bane with an 8 energy.
Okay. Yeah, like I got no power cards.
Okay. So that would actually be one of those rare instances where it's a victory on both fronts, because that would take out the last guy. If he was still alive, I would have the cumulative to move the missions over. So that would end the game. But that gives you an idea of how the game works or plays. That's really the point of the starters. They're not meant to be like good at the game per se. They're just meant to give you an idea of how the game plays. That's really the whole purpose of those. But just let you know, like I said, I took out a bunch of these cards that I had in my deck that would be like extra card types. I forgot that the DC had allies, so I took out my ally cards. So I did actually take out a card I didn't need to take out. But for example, I'll show you what I mean by taking out cards that weren't in the set that would have made things much different. So they did come with any power card, any hero cards, which are also called any character cards. So here's an example of one. These can be played by anybody that's on the front line. So they're meant to be, everyone can play them. So there's those. They do have those in the set. They also have something called any power cards. They're not multi-powers, so they're not going to count as any of the 4 types, but they're their own type called any power, so they're strictly for cumulative only. So these are called any power cards. They're for cumulative purposes only. So those were released in the game.
Okay, so what do you mean cumulative?
So if they have 20 or more in total hit value on their record, they're KO'd. That's cumulative KO.
Okay.
So there's that. In fact, there's even an any power universe. This is the only basic universe card I use. Actually, I have one in my deck, and that's because this is an any power, meaning it can be combined with anybody. So with any power type when you play a power card. But the bigger differences that are again any hero cards, any character cards, the any power cards. And then the other big thing that I have in here, they did come out with aspect cards, which are basically cards that your home base plays if you play at the home base. Let me explain that so it's not total gibberish. So let me pull out my home base. Okay. So they came out with location cards eventually in the game. And I will tell you right now that any game, any constructive play, they are playing with these because they're just so good. So, and this is only one example. There's a lot of different location cards. This is just the one I play with. But for example, a location card can be used one of 2 ways: as a battle site or as a home base. I use this as a home base. So for example, with this, using it as a home base, it allows me to place a card type on the base itself for a hero to use later in the game. So it gives me an extra placing slot, basically, with specials. That's what this one does. So it really helps the game. It's really awesome. But again, I kept it out of the game, so you get more of a taste of a normal general game. But these, in any constructive play, they're going to be using location cards as a home base or as a battle site, because they just really, really help a deck a lot. And so if you use a base as a battle site, not as a home base, then what that allows you to do is it'll have a list of 6 heroes on the location card, and you can put that as an extra location with your front line and put specials under there matching the heroes that are listed. And those are specials you'll be able to access during the course of the game. So being able to play specials from characters you're not playing with is the sort of the point of a battle site. So again, location cards, a huge help. Constructed players will use them all the time. Every constructed deck nowadays has them because they're just that good. So that's the other big type, is a location card. So I just wanted to point those out so that you're aware of that, and so that if you're constructing, that's an option that a lot of people will use. But just for our viewers who want sort of an idea of what's currently happening with Overpower, if you're building a constructed deck, you'll probably want to look at locations because they're very, very, very much needed to enhance a deck. They're very, very, very good at enhancing decks to make them better. But
okay, all right. Just so I'm clear on this though. Okay, so it would have been advantageous for me to say hit.
let me go back really quick. Sorry. There we go. Go ahead.
Okay, it would have been advantageous for me to try to hit Professor X with the strength attack.
It really wouldn't have mattered, except for trying to get a hit that's going to spectrum. If you're trying to spectrum, because again, whenever you're playing a power card, whenever you're playing a power card, that character is going to have access to any of their stats as long as the power card matches. So whatever you throw at me, I will always be able to look at my power cards and say, okay, if it's an energy, can I play it? If it's a fighting, can I play it? Down the line.
Yeah.
So that's why a character who has higher in stats is inherently more powerful, even though their stats are just measuring tools, because you can play more power cards on a higher level the more stats they have that are larger. Yeah. So he's got an 8 and a 7. So if I have intellect or energy power cards in my hand, most likely I can play those because he's got an 8 and a 7 in there.
Okay. But if you don't have them in your hand, then you might be down to fighting and strength.
If I don't have the power cards in my hand, let's say I just have fighting and strength power cards in my hand, then yeah, he's not going to be able to play them more than likely because he has a 1, 2, or a 1. Okay. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was cool. Just got to get my head around the rules, the basic rules. All right.
Yeah. No, it's once you understand how it works, it's really awesome. And there's a reason that so many people love this game and still play the game because, honestly, if I want to feel like I'm playing, playing characters in a comic book that are duking it out, this is the game that simulates it for me and for a lot of people. Yeah, because you've got the power cards that they're swinging at each other, and then you got their specials that do their unique things that are unique to them. And you've got universe cards that simulate allies or objects you're using to do more stuff. So it's very thematic and very flavorful, and I think functionally it works really, really well.
Did you ever play a Warlord game?
No. I've heard about it, but I've never played Warlord, no.
That's another one they're bringing back to Kickstarter too, but Warlord is great, yeah.
Cool. All right. That's awesome. Yeah. So thank you so much. Unfortunately, I do have to get going because my wife needs me to cook some food here pretty soon. So
yeah, I mean, one thing for sure, I definitely would not have understood this as an 11-year-old. So
yeah. Well, it was actually when the game started, I still pulled out the extra stuff so that it was more or less a basic game. But basically, when the game started, though, they had less crazy specials. Like most specials were a level something attack and make an additional attack, maybe avoid a certain type of attack. They were more rudimentary specials when the game came out, and most people had caught on to the meta of kicking out the basic cards and basic universe and the training universe and focusing on the other ones, the training, the teamwork ones. And they didn't even have allied cards as universe cards when it came out. The Marvel set didn't have allied cards like we saw. So it was a much more basic game, even though we did the same basic cards for the most part. It was a much more basic structured thinking game in the beginning. And so,
man, I'm looking at these Marvel cards. It seems like they have higher, rawer stats. So was Marvel better than the DC?
So overall, Marvel did come out to being more powerful than DC overall. On general rule, yes. As a general rule, yes.
All right. What about Image?
Image turned out to being more powerful than Marvel on average, but that's not saying much because there are still some really, really powerful Marvel characters. So I wouldn't say across the board, but in a general sense, yes, Image was, as a set, more powerful than Marvel on average.
Okay. Cool. All right, man. Definitely glad I got to finally play this. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the time. And honestly, if you ever get around to actually constructing a deck, it changes the whole game because you can throw in those other things and have a more focused strategy than the starters. Because the starters are, like I said, they're strictly meant to say, here's how you play the basics of the game. Learn. It's just a learning tool. That's all the starters are for. Okay. That's all they were ever for.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll look at it. I'll mess with it a little bit.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thanks a lot. And I hope you have a great day. But everyone here who's watching, thank you so much for joining us. Again, this is Overpower. Again, I stand by my statement. The greatest superhero trading card game ever made. That's my opinion. Yeah, people may argue with me on that, but I will stand by it. But that's
out of control. I mean, it's a good one. It's a good one.
all right.
I guess till next time.
Yep. Till next time. Have a great day. All right.
Yep.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye.